or fight, that's the first thing that we've got to do is listen, wake up that urge. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Question everything about your current life right now. Question it. Question the you know what out of it. What do you need to eliminate and what do you need to elevate? Now here's the thing, when I came out of that fight, remember my picture perfect life? The house, the car, the dog, the husband, the body? Guess what? On the inside, it wasn't so perfect. It was pretty messy and pretty empty. And it was a facade. And I was hiding in plain sight, and I was lying to myself every single day, and I was doing things I wasn't proud of. Deceitful things. Lies to myself, lies to others. It damaged me for a long time. So I had to start coming clean with that. And I think a lot of times in our lives, we're scared to answer the questions because it means we've got to start taking ownership and responsibility for why we are where we're at. Even if it was, I didn't choose to have an infection bubbling up inside of me, but here I am. God didn't save me, I didn't live so that I could continue to look in the mirror every day and lie to myself and live a life I didn't want to live anymore. So I had to start fighting that battle as well, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I had to get myself right. I had to keep questioning, what did I need to eliminate? What did I need to elevate in my life? And I want to ask you of that today when you go home. Think about this. What do you want to elevate in your life? If you think much more about what you want to bring in, it's so much easier to not worry about what I'm losing, what it's costing me, what I'm giving up. Think about all the good that you're going to get, that you're going to add and pour in. Because remember, you bring you to everywhere. And if there's more good inside of you, guess who is going to be affected in a positive way? Everybody you touch, every room you walk in, your job, your husband, your best friend, your parents, your kids, everybody. But you got to surrender the old, the excuses, the bad stories, all the BS in your life, all the lies, all the limitations. You got to let it go. You got to be willing to let go of that life to step into the new life. But the biggest thing is surrendering to the path ahead. Nobody actually wants to surrender to the path ahead. How many of you have ever been on a diet? You are lying if you don't raise your hand. You ever been on a diet, tried a diet, thought about a diet, and then how many of you tried to make it your own and said, I'm going to do part of it, but then I'm going to do it this way? Yeah. How'd that go for you? You know? It's like, I'm going to follow the roadmap, kind of, and I'll kind of get to my destination. We don't want to surrender to the process. Why? Because it's unknown, it's scary, it's uncertain, it's fearful. Will it work? I've never been here before. How will I feel? What will I do? You got to surrender. When I got out of surgery, I had 3 huge tubes coming out of me to get out the rest of the infection because it wasn't enough to just go, but they can't just do surgery and get it out and send me on my way. It was a liter of infection in me. Think of a Mountain Dew liter of green gook. So I came out with 3 tubes, couldn't walk, and they wanted me to get out of bed and take a step? What? But you just fixed me. It was emergency surgery. I'm alive. Now there was a new fight. Oh, and we really don't know what's wrong with you either still yet. So we got to keep you, which we kind of already knew, and grow it and figure out what the infection is. So in the meanwhile, you're going to take 3 different types of IV medications until we figure it out. They didn't even know the plan and the process, and they wanted me to trust them and believe them. And then in less than 12 hours, I was septic. I was sick. It was in my blood. And I was dying. I had just come out of almost dying to left for dead, almost dying, to now I'm septic. It's where it attacks your organs and your organs start shutting down. So I was put into ICU. In the fish tank where they have the sliding door and they can see you and only the nurses get to come in and the doctors with the hazmat. That's real quarantine for 7 days in ICU until they could figure it out and get me stable and get me healthy. And then that wasn't enough. I had to learn how to walk again and do 6 months of PT. And if that wasn't enough, I had to have a PICC line in my arm to my heart and give myself IV drugs for 3 months, twice a day, that made you feel worse than you already did. No energy, lethargic. How am I supposed to surrender to that process? Well, easy. I wanted to hold my babies again. I wanted to be strong again. I wanted to be healthy again. I had to surrender to that path even though it was unknown and scary and it really sucked. The surgery was a breeze to that, and they knocked me out. So the next thing I want you to think about is take a minute to think about why or why not you haven't given yourself permission. What's holding you back? Is it fear? Is it the unknown? Is it you have to keep up the success? Is it you would have to let go of something in your life that, oh my God, what would people think, and you're worried about it? Can you give yourself permission today, not tomorrow, not on Monday, today, to start surrendering something that is no longer serving you and certainly does not serve your future self? Can you give yourself permission to fight for your future self, to surrender to the process ahead, even though I don't know what it looks like, even though I don't know how it's gonna turn out, even though I don't know how I'm gonna get there, even though I don't have the money, even though my husband's not gonna wanna go to therapy, even though I've gotta lose 50 pounds, even though I'm gonna go home and drink a bottle of wine tonight by myself and Netflix binge and scroll on the phone and seek something that isn't ever gonna really fill me up. Can you surrender that? Can you question that? That's how we start to wake that fire inside. Am I speaking the truth? Rise up. Rise up. Come on.